country. I want to bring Dr. Amesh Adalja. He's an infectious disease expert and a senior scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How worried are you about what's happening in Europe? Because it seems like the United States is going in the right direction. Seems like Italy in particular is not.
What you see in Europe is basically an approach where they heavily rely on shutdowns and don't really build the public health infrastructure to test, trace, isolate, and vaccinate. And they've got the more contagious B.1.1.7 or UK variant rising there. So they're really spiraling out of control again. And I think it really speaks to the fact that these countries that really look at shutdowns as their only tool, this blunt tool, are going to be stuck in this non-sustainable trap until they get enough of their population vaccinated. Hopefully we won't see that in the United States because our vaccine rollout has accelerated significantly, and we're seeing hospital capacity look much, much better now as nursing home residents are largely all vaccinated, and they were a big proportion of who was getting hospitalized. But I do think we have to be on alert in the United States about these variants and the spread. And the real lesson is that the faster we vaccinate, the less these variants are going to matter. So I think this underscores the need for us to continue to vaccinate, continue to have people wearing masks as we start to increase capacity at our venues and restaurants.
Well, and to add to that, you know, Pfizer and BioNTech, Moderna, I mean, they are saying that at least Pfizer and BioNTech, I can confirm that, say that, you know, against the UK variant in particular, you still have the same immunity you would have here in the United States. But I want to ask you about what's happening with AstraZeneca, because now you've got Ireland, a bunch of other countries that are either pausing or delaying the AstraZeneca vaccine because of reports of blood clotting in about, I think, 30 patients. They say they found no evidence of an increased risk of, you know, they're not saying that you can tie the vaccine to the blood clot. And I know there's also like 30 million doses of AstraZeneca's vaccine in Ohio at a warehouse that is ready to go, and they don't have authorization yet.
Yeah, so what's going on in Europe with the AstraZeneca vaccine, I think, is unfortunate. And it's one of the things you see when you vaccinate a lot of people is that sometimes you start to see certain conditions occur, and it's basically mere coincidence. That just because it's happening after vaccination doesn't mean it's caused by the vaccination. And the EU regulator has said that they don't think this is related to it, and AstraZeneca has said the same thing. I don't think it's related to it, but it's something that you have to investigate and study. But I don't think that pausing vaccinations in many of these European countries is really going to help the matter there, because they're dealing with the surge of cases, and the solution to this is the vaccine. In the United States, a lot of us have been clamoring for the AstraZeneca vaccine to be approved. It would immediately increase our capacity to vaccinate and get us closer towards population immunity, but we're still waiting for the phase 3 trial in the United States to be done to get AstraZeneca across the finish line. I suspect it will get across the finish line, and this will be another vaccine that we add to our menu that will make it a lot easier to get people vaccinated. It's also a cheaper vaccine. It's something that's going to probably be the vaccine for the world, because it's much easier to manufacture and store than some of the others.
Well, and you mentioned menu. I mean, a lot of people are wondering, are we going to have like our choice of vaccine? There's a whole article about that actually this morning, about that, you know, we're going to be able to go and have an option. We can, do you want Pfizer? You want Moderna? Do you want J&J? Like, you know, what do you want?
Eventually, as we have much more vaccine availability and we're not so supply constrained, I do think people will have some sort of choice. Maybe that's in the summer, maybe that's afterwards. Right now, I think the goal is to get any vaccine into people's arms so that we can get this pandemic behind us. So right now, I would tell somebody, don't pick and choose over the vaccines. Take what the first available to you, because that's going to help you and improve your life immediately. Eventually, we may have this menu, but I don't think it's something that people should be holding out for a certain vaccine. All of the vaccines that are approved right now in the U.S. are safe and effective, and the best vaccine is the one that gets in your arm the fastest.
Yeah, get the shot. There you go. Shayna Sissel, jump in here.
So I have a quick question for you. You know, you were talking about the rollout in the United States, more people getting vaccinated. What do you tell people who are reluctant to get the vaccine, not because they are against it, but they have this feeling that somebody else needs it more, so I'm going to wait, even though they're eligible? What would you say to encourage these people to go and get vaccinated if they qualify, no matter the reason?
I would go, and I would not think about that. Right now, the vaccine rollout has improved. And you have to remember that, you know, any vaccine that gets in someone's arms gets us closer to population immunity. So even if you don't think you're at risk, the fact that your vaccine is going into your arm is better than it going into a trash can. There are some leftover doses that happen. So nobody should feel bad about getting vaccinated. It's something that you should do because it's going to make your life better, and it's going to get the pandemic under better control in the United States. So I would not think about that you're taking somebody's place. Just get your vaccine as quickly as you can.
Maybe don't do it for yourself. Do it for your parents. Do it for your coworkers. Do it for friends that you might be around at some point. That's great advice. Dr. Amesh Adalja, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.